back a little bit of the original from 1973 for The Exorcist Believer.
This was one of my favorite movies growing up. I was a kid when I saw it. I think I was 12 years old. It scared the life out of me, but I loved it. I loved it so much. I'd also read the book. And so the idea of coming aboard a movie that was really not a sequel, but a new beginning that harkened back to the original, with Jason Blum, who is the master of horror, with David Gordon Green, who's so talented, and with Leslie Odom Jr., who is one of my favorite actors. It was kind of a no-brainer.
You bring double the trouble. So
I do?
You do bring double the trouble. So how do you divide it? How did you decide in dividing the attention?
Well, I think this was also the brainchild of David, who wanted to double the fun. And also, I think the idea of the two girls was that they have separate families, that they had to come together. And this is the other reason I love this movie so much, because it's really about community coming together to solve a problem that's bigger than all of us. And that's such a beautiful message in a horror movie, that I just think it just sets it above the rest of the horror movies out there. Not to mention, it's so scary. I literally jump out of my seat every time I see it, even though I know what's happening. So yeah, so I think that the double possession is also just a metaphor for, it's not just one person going through something, it's really all of us.
Enjoyed the fact that you kind of bring up the concept of other religion, other beliefs, other ideas of what an exorcist is. Can you talk about bringing that to the screen?
Well, just like Ellen says, or Chris McNeil says in the movie, every culture has a version of expelling demons. And so our movie really sort of celebrates that fact by bringing in the root worker, bringing in the evangelist, bringing in the Christian, the Catholic priest. Like, all these things sort of come together again as a metaphor for folks really coming together to solve something. So I think that for David, the idea of community was always embedded in this movie.
And in this film, you don't have someone that specializes in exorcism. That's why the title of Believer, right? You're uniting all these believers.
Yes, exactly. And that's so great you point that out, because we don't have to wait around for somebody to save us. You know what I mean? Like, the message is, we just need to come together to save ourselves. And I think, again, that's such a modern take on fighting evil. You know, it's not just one guy against the devil. It's all of us together, and that's a beautiful thing.
So what can you say about the Exorcist Deceiver?
Nothing. I signed an NDA. No, look, part of the most fun about these movies is knowing nothing and going in and just experiencing it for the first time. So I would never divulge anything. And I just hope people love this movie the way I do and enjoy it and tell their friends. It's got long legs. So I'm just looking forward to everybody loving Believer starting there.
Well, we'll have to wait for 2025.
Yes, you will. It'll be here soon.
Yes, right before we know it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations
Thank you, Nancy.
on the release from this past Friday.
Yes, worldwide, #1.